Hey there friends, welcome back out to the channel. This is Kyle and you are watching Culture Redneck Garage. And as you can tell, I am not in the Culture Redneck Garage, but there's plenty of culture that goes on here. You're joining me today from the beautiful First Baptist Church where I attend church and sort of serve here off and on with different ministries. And I thought I would kind of give you an update because I've sort of made every year, I think the last 3 years I've been on this channel, sort of a yearly thing where I sort of tell you about some of the props I've been working on, because let's face it, even though I'm not working on some sort of mechanical thing in the garage, I do some of that work in the garage, and it is part of my life, and I make part of my life part of this channel. So let's go check it out. You know, sometimes working in church and doing things, even being in here in this lovely big building is just as peaceful as being in a garage. In fact, a lot of times more. But anyways, I enjoy doing things here. And so I have been working on props for VBS. Like I said, every year I sort of do this, and I don't show it to showcase, oh, look what I can do, look what I can do. Not the case at all. But, you know, it takes some time out of the year, and I thought I would just show you what I did. Maybe give some of you guys that do this at your own churches or schools or whatever some sort of inspiration. That's what we're here about. We're here to inspire each other and help each other out, right? We can all learn something from each other. This year's theme was somewhat of a camp theme, as you can tell. And our choir loft up here is designed in such a way that it would actually make it really nice to put these cabins up. So I've sort of built these cabins into the choir loft, as you can see, and made a little porch there. You know, for the girls and boys, we got the boys' cabin here, and we got the girls' cabin there. And just a little fluffer in the middle there. We got some Christmas trees, which always add a little bit to that. And we built us a little lifeguard chair right there. Throw in a kayak or two, a few backpacks, fishing poles, and you've got you a set. Oh, not to mention the flagpole. We got us a flagpole. I had to, that was the darndest thing. I got nervous. You know, when you put a flagpole up on a church stage, it isn't like putting it out in your yard. Plus, there's this beautiful stained glass there that came from Italy, I think, from one of the members here. So the pastor happened to have one of these, I think it's a 20 by 20 by 3/4 inch plate. And I saw that laying out there on his carport, and I said, bingo, that's what we need to do. So I welded a tube to it, and then we've got just some conduit that someone had sort of donated to us, and that's how it works. We didn't have to pay a dime for that. In fact, we try to do this on the cheap because it is a ministry, right? You don't want to spend a ton. We were donated the roofing, which was wonderful. That ain't cheap, and we're just blessed to have that. Anyways, it's been a lot of work, but it's been a lot of fun. You know, kids are worth investing in, whether it be teaching them out there in the garage how to turn a wrench, or to play ball, or just do something like this for, because if you can have a kid remember somebody doing something for them in the future, they can look back at that, and then they are likely to do the same thing, and they're likely to be thankful and appreciative. So that's why we do it, and everybody has a good time, and I had a good time. Even though it was a lot of work, I had a great time. So that leads us to where are we going next? All right. Once we tear this set down, or not tear it down, we'll just say take it apart and store it for another day. Essentially what we'll do is we will get back to Dougie Buggy, and I'll meet you over there by Dougie Buggy here in a second, and we'll talk about it. All right, friends, I hope you enjoyed a little bit of that from First Baptist Paducah, at least maybe appreciate some of it somehow anyways. Well, we're back at the house, and we got old Dougie Buggy over here. Old Douglas is sitting there. Dougie has been sitting in the back of the yard in the corner under a tarp for, I guess, probably darn near a month. I think that was the last time we did a little video on Dougie when we took her for a spin. If you remember, if you watched that, what we essentially did, sort of took it for a drive to evaluate whether or not this transaxle as it sits was worth a flip. And I think we determined in doing so, by driving it, we could hear rumbling noises whenever, you know, when we're in drive, and everything except for whenever you have the clutch pushed in. So more than likely bad input shaft bearings. Yeah, input shaft bearings. If not more, I suspect it's more. But anyway, we won't know till we get the thing out. So this is a swing axle, not like the IRS that I have dealt with the majority of my buggying life. So that's what you got. You got one whole axle tube hooked up to that. So what that means is essentially to remove this, get the transmission out, we got to remove the engine and the tires and unbolt that from our trailing arms, I guess is what you'd call that, or spring arm plates. I don't know, whatever the technical term is, you get it. Which is going to be problematic because that essentially renders, it's a little bit different on an IRS. You can pop off the engine and the transmission and she still rolls with four wheels. Not the case with a swing axle. So I may be picking it up by the back end here and wheeling it around. So as soon as we break down the set, we'll be doing that. We'll be popping the engine off. A lot to do. And it's sort of my plan, if we're going to take this to NoNameNationals instead of the Smurfmobile, which I'm planning on doing, we got a lot of work. And I knew we was going to have to probably do this, and it would take every bit of, you know, late June to even start the thing. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to remove the transaxle, check it for, see if all the internals are good there. I'd like to use the 437 ring gear. I think it'd be fun to experiment with. It'll definitely get down the track quicker, I think. But if things in there stink, I've got another box waiting to go, and we'll convert that to a swing axle. So yeah, we gotta do that. Still gotta get it legal for the track, which would mean I'll do the same thing, a similar thing with my battery box that I did with the other, where I have to basically build some plates to keep that thing bolted down. Got a stick, whether I steal it from Smurfmobile or buy another one. Got to get another race quip seat belt, a sort of a on-off switch for our electrical, just for safety, very important. Hey, at least we don't have to do anything on the engine other than maybe a little retune. All the lines are braided steel, don't have to update any of that mess, so we're that far ahead there. Oh, and something critical I've learned in drag racing, a stick shift. So I've got my turning, these are turning brakes. In other words, push down and lock out one wheel, pull up, lock out the other. Well, I use those essentially as a staging brake as well. So we've got to get this baby in here somehow. It used to be in here, and I didn't like the way it was, so we're going to redo that. We still got to fix this mess. So we may not be rolling up to NoNameNationals with a beautified car with everything painted. It just probably ain't gonna work out that way. But hey, if it does, more power to us. But I think it'd be fun. I don't think anybody's gonna judge us. They never do. It's a good thing about that group. But yeah, we're still getting her. All the titling process is going on, but I can't register this until I get Windows and the proper turn signals and all that stuff. So all that will take place after the transmission. So that's where we're at, guys. Buckle up. We're finally getting to a part in life when we can get on this and get it done. So instead of instead of telling, we'll be doing one more showing. And well, that's that. So stick with us if you want to see what we're going to do, and enjoy the ride. Anyways, until next video, we'll see you.